Happy New Year's, everybody, and welcome to Partner Talks. And nothing's better than kicking off the first official Partner Talks of the year with Heather Cook from Microsoft. Heather, you've been on the show before, but thank you, and you might as well introduce yourself again.
Wonderful. Rick, hello. I'm so happy to see you. It's been a bit. And your show's so good. And listeners, yay, welcome, and yay, new year. I'm so excited. So thank you for having me. Let's see. From my day job is Principal Customer Experience Manager at Microsoft. I'm a community lead for our events and the Global Community Initiative on the M365 engineering team. So, yep.
And I think this is a great segue into my next question.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about what you're creating now. I believe it's called the Curler Report.
I have some fun on social media, for sure. I was, it was me and Dux Raymond from AvePoint. We were doing a webinar, and I was getting ready, and they were like, hey, we want to do a tech check. And I was like, cool. And so I flipped on my camera, and this was a long time ago now, like before COVID. And I had my curlers in because I use hot rollers. I have the same hot rollers since I was like 16, and they're those like Clairol velvet rollers with the little clips. And he was like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, maybe I should just do it. And he was like, yeah, why don't you? And I was like, okay. And so I ended up doing it with the curlers in. And people were like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. And, and it's an interesting, I think, juxtaposition with what women have to do, what we feel we have to do to get ready or to be camera ready or to be present. And so I was like, well, so I do them sometimes with makeup on, without, but with curlers in. And I talk about, what's going on in the world. A lot of it before was where I was in the world, like if I was traveling. And so it was kind of a travel report, and it's turned into more of, I think, maybe motivational and, things that I'm interested in that are culturally going on, and motivation for people as well. So yeah, that's how that started.
For those who don't follow Heather Cook on LinkedIn, make sure you do, because you can see the Curler Report and Maven Musings, which is your newsletter. So let's go back to your role, Heather.
Yeah, sure.
Community.
Yay.
You do a lot with community. What are you doing now?
Oh my goodness, community, woo woo. So my role, I get up every day and work on community for Microsoft. So I have a dream job. I'm so super happy. I've been, I feel like I was part of the community in that I was, a vendor and a Microsoft MVP, and I was working a lot with so many other wonderful community members and, building content and that sort of thing. And then, getting to go back to Microsoft. We met a few years ago when I went on the Power Platform community team, leading that team for Charles Lamanna, and that was amazing because, the words power and platform really hadn't been together until 2019 for reals. And so I started in 2020, in the beginning of the pandemic, and it was amazing, that they were, I wouldn't say startup, but kind of in a way, it was the beginning of that. And so I got to really flex, a muscle that was going back to kind of when SharePoint started, right? And so that was really fun, working to build, momentum around user groups and momentum around creating a conference for them, the Power Platform Conference, community conference, and just lots of programs that were firsts, which was really cool. And then I got the opportunity, I like to say that I got the opportunity to come home because I grew up in SharePoint and Office 365. And so, working with Adam Harmitz and Caruana Gatimu on the M365 team, I was like, oh, I love working with Charles and everybody, but I was like, oh, this is a really great opportunity. And so I made that switch. It'll be 2 years in February. But, to me, community is community. I don't care what product it is. We are all part of the best community in tech, which is the Microsoft community, whether you're Dynamics or SQL Server or Intra or whatever you work on. I like that big scale picture of we are a large community together. So I continue to work on similar projects of, big community, third-party produced events. So events produced not by Microsoft, so where Microsoft will sponsor something. And so I do a lot of executive producing of those bigger kind of tier ones of that size. And then I work on Ignite and Build as well, representing our division and how community shows up for our division of M365. And I work with other community managers at Microsoft. We have amazing folks that I get to work with on the Azure team and over on, Fabric with Remerit, who you know really well, and, other folks. So I do a lot of the event strategy and that sort of thing. And then I also work on scale programs like the Microsoft Global Community Initiative. I help Brian Wofford on our team with our Microsoft 365 MVPs a little bit. So I most of the time it's looking at programs at scale for people through our community platforms like techcommunity.microsoft.com and some of the other ones I run through all of our events. So.
And we'll be putting those URLs in the show notes because there's lots to
of
learn,
acronyms.
lots to see on that website. I was on it this morning.
Yeah.
So Heather, we're in the world of AI now, for sure. What are some of the challenges or the benefits of growing communities in this day and age?
Yeah, I think one thing that I'm seeing is that, in IRL, in real life, is really back in many ways. There's so many events, and a shout out to the event producers who weathered the storms, who really weathered the COVID storm. And because those folks who had events and they were putting them on, user group leaders who were doing that and putting them on, so many things changed obviously during that time. And, a lot of people retired, people, closed businesses, so many things happened. And so there's all these wonderful event producers that, have been around with us for 20 years, and they continue to put on these wonderful events. And they're such a great place for people to connect and to celebrate and to network together and to learn and share. Just most of my career, the things that have happened for me as far as, promotions or connections or new clients or whatever, most of that's happened in real life because I've met somebody at an event or a user group meeting or something, So...
And I've got to agree with you because I'm an MVP because of user communities, right? And I was just in Europe and Poland for Directions, and it's a partner event. It's absolutely fantastic. There was 3,000 partners together for 3 or 4 days, and it was just nonstop. Not just meeting new people, but catching up with everybody. And then I'm in Texas next month for the Vibe Conference, which is a new partner conference happening. So. It's exciting, and I wish more partners would get involved with community. How do we do that? How do we get partners involved?
I was just having this conversation from a gal that I met recently, Regina Johnson, who's awesome. She's a Microsoft employee, and she works on partners day in and day out. And so she and I literally yesterday, we were supposed to talk for half an hour. We talked for an hour and a half. And but yeah, I think, my heart is with partners for sure from that original SharePoint list. And then the other thing is that, the world is built on relationships, everybody. I mean, seriously, the more people you know and the times that you're consistently going back to know people, to be there, to show up, people notice that. And Microsoft people notice that too. So to me, there's value in the thought leadership. There's value in brand building. There's value in just getting the leads from a show because you've paid to be a sponsor. There's that back and forth where you can go and talk to people. And most of the time, the people that are there actually do want to talk and do business. It's not just boondoggles and tire kickers, There's some of that, of course. But so to me, the value is the relationships that you're building and the brand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And where else can you go to meet leaders from all over the world?
Yeah, 100%.
Is that a conference?
Yep.
You're just not going to meet them anywhere else.
No, it's access too. You're absolutely right. The access you get, the concentrated access that you get at certain events. And that's why it's so important when people are looking about getting your content up early, knowing who the keynotes are early so that people can make those decisions. I mean, partners only have so much funds to give to marketing or events, as does an attendee, right? A lot of people, you'll get 1 or maybe 2 shows a year, maybe a big one, right? To be able to go, right? And that's why, communitydays.org, which it's 3 years old now, and that began during the pandemic as well. of being a one-stop shop for community-led and produced events in the Microsoft ecosystem. And that's a great place to go scan and look and see if there's something coming up in your region. There's lots of virtual events. And also, what's the region that you're trying to crack open, right? Are you, looking for oil and gas customers? Are you like by industry as well, right? Certain cities like Houston lend itself to that. If you're looking for more government, you're going to go do something in DC. If you want more, manufacturing, you want to go in Atlanta. So there's ways to participate that are both local and regional where you are and where your potential brick and mortar or, headquarters are. But then globally, there are events happening all over the place. CS LATAM, that's a great place if you're looking to open up the Latin market for yourself and get to know those folks, So I think there's just so much opportunity, and it's easy to feel like it's like this giant ocean, and truly pick one or two things. Try it out, go to an event, go see an event, or go try with a small sponsorship to an event, maybe on the like a local or tier 2 or 3 level, if you will. So, yeah.
And just once you're there, grab a coffee and talk to the person next to you, and you just don't know who you're going to meet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the hotel lobbies, are where so much business gets done because everybody is out there, like on the shuttle buses going back and forth to something. And yeah, I can't tell you the amount of, and just I feel so lucky and blessed, and that I have friends, true friends, colleagues, community, like / all over this world, and it's over, and you've known this over 20 years, 25 years. It's just the amount of people that I have gotten the chance to meet or manage because I was like the speaker manager or this or that or whatever, is just mind-blowing to me, and I feel so lucky that that's the case. So it's good.
Okay, Heather, I've got to thank you for your time today, for coming on to Partner Talks to talk about community. We could do a 12-hour podcast here because there's just so much to cover, but I got to thank you for your time, and we'll put what we can in the show notes. And any closing remarks about 2026?
Yeah, you're welcome, Rick. Thank you for having me on. I love talking to you. And thank you for what you do for the community as an MVP, as a leader doing this podcast. I know how many people you help over the years and always, and you're such a great supporter. So thank you for that. And yeah, with 2026, I think I continue to look at humans first. AI is here. AI is something that we can't deny, and we all need to lean in and learn and play, and make it about you. Try AI out on you and your career and what it should look like. Use some prompts that are about who you are and what you want and where you want to go. And yes, you're going to use it for work. You're going to build agents. You're going to create all this stuff. But I think a really great way to play and learn is to make it centric about yourself. And use Copilot and ask it lots of questions. I asked Copilot to look at everything that I was doing, that I've been doing internally. And I was like, talk to me like you're an executive coach and give it to me, like really tell me what's up. And I was like, holy bananas. It was like, well, you need to do this and that, and you need to maybe, be more focused time, and you spend a lot of time doing these kind of meetings and this kind of stuff. And I was like, this is awesome. So it was a great way for me to learn about, hey, maybe I need to, have less meetings and more creative time to work on strategy and all of that sort of thing. So I think, the first thing we ever did, right, when a search engine came out, what did? We put our own names in there, didn't we? So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, Heather, thank you for your time, and hopefully we'll see you at an event this year.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Bye for now.
Cheers.